Hey everyone, this is Bryce from Shout. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about order workflow and how easy it is to follow up with your customers using the scheduled messages. So as you can see, I went ahead and used an order bot. So it looks like Morgan actually texted me order just a little bit ago. As you can see, my order bot then kind of ran here. She then placed her order. I sent her an invoice separately. And then I decided to go ahead and just send her order tracking number here straight through Shout. Now, what I like to do with every single one of my orders, once I finished, I always like to schedule a follow-up immediately, just to make sure that my customers are always going to hear back from me, and then it's something that I don't have to worry about later down the road. So what I like to do is I always like to go through and I use a template for my order follow-up. I click that on my message template. It's going to say, hey, name. I'm going to go ahead and replace that with Morgan. Oops. There we go. So it says, hey Morgan, just checking in to make sure you received your popcorn and are loving the different flavors. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. So all I have to do now is just click the schedule button, and then this is going to allow me to send it out whenever I'd like. So most of the time our shipping is going to take 2 to 3 days, and so for me I always like to send it out about 5 business days later to make sure that there's enough time for them to have received it and for it to be a nice kind of pleasant message for me that I was just following up with them. So I'm going to go ahead and select Friday the 25th, and I'm going to send that around the same time that she placed the order. So on here, she actually sent the order in around 8 a.m., so I'm going to go ahead and send that message back around the same time, just because it seems like that's probably the time that she is available and is going to be getting a message, and it's not going to come across as a nuisance. So I've gone ahead and I've set my time for 8:15 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and set that, and as you can see, it now says that my message will be sent on October 25th, 8:15 a.m., and I'm going to go ahead and schedule that. So that's now been scheduled, and as you can see here on the right-hand side in the customer profile, that she has a scheduled message that's going to go out on Friday, the 25th at 8:15 a.m. Now, if you'd like to be able to see that on kind of a more broad level, you can also always click on the scheduled button here on the left, and this is going to show that I have an individual follow-up message scheduled for here. What's great about scheduled messages is you can also schedule them out to go to groups as well. For me, I think it's a really great habit to get into, is every single time you process orders or you do any type of fulfillment on everything, is just to go through and make sure that you've, one, have things kind of tagged appropriately, two, you have them assigned to a group that you can always quickly reference back to. I like to schedule messages, and then last but not least, I always like to take notes on my conversation. So on here, I typically like to go through and add the tracking number and the items that they ordered, just so it's easy for me to always reference back if there's anything that ever goes awry in the future. So on here, I'm just going to say, ordered 4 cinnamon. Actually, I can probably just save some time just by copy and pasting that right in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There we go. So I say she ordered that, and then I'm also going to include my tracking number. Great. So I have that in there, and that is now set for this conversation. So now that I've scheduled my message to go out, I have my proper tags on there, my groups, and I've left notes on my conversation, I'm going to go ahead and mark this one done, and I'm all set, and then I'm ready to go back into my inbox and handle my next conversation.